The American artist Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock is famously known for his strip/action paintings that we're going to learn more about today. So our objective and aim is to say, I can create a drip painting using the tools I have at hand. I can talk about the artist Jackson Pollock. And if we were successful in our lesson today, then you're going to be able to tell me an interesting fact about Jackson Pollock, and you're going to be able to tell me what kind of paintings did he make. So Jackson Pollock is an abstract artist who invented drip painting, also known as action painting. So take a look at his painting on the screen. So this painting is called Number 1A, and it was created in 1948. Take a look at the colors, the contrast of colors. We have white, we have black, we see yellow, we see tints of pink and tints of red. We see long, thin lines, we see smudges, we see drips, we see just assortment of different shapes of paints and styles in this painting. So you're probably asking yourself, well, how is drip painting? Well, how do you do that? But before we talk about how, let's talk more about the artist. So all about Jackson Pollock. He was born in 1912 and passed away in 1956. He is an American known artist. Jackson Pollock got into a lot of trouble at school and unfortunately was expelled twice. Pollock didn't paint on easel like most painters, but he put his canvases on the floor. He said it made him feel closer to the painting. So he is one of the, at his time period, artists were not known to be painting on the floor. So he was really one of the first ones who started to do that. It was seen to kind of frowned upon, and it was like why are you putting your art on the floor? Why are you putting what's supposed to be a beautiful and expensive masterpiece on the floor? And many art critics did not understand that, so they were shocked when Pollock started doing it. Because most traditional artists like to paint on the easel and have their canvas up and high and right in front of them, but not Pollock. He liked having them on the floor because he felt closer to them when he was making the artwork. Pollock invented drip painting, also known as action painting, and he would use different tools to drip, pour, splatter paint onto the canvas from above. These paintings became very famous. So some of the tools he would use was a turkey baster, a stick, or really hard old crusty brushes. Or the brush that you would use to paint houses and cars. He wouldn't necessarily use traditional artistic paintbrushes, so he would use harder, sturdier things that would cause a good impact when you flick your wrist and you're throwing the paint into the canvas. So he used different alternate tools. Pollock was often very unhappy, and he used his art to express his feelings. This is why many of his paintings use dark and gloomy colors. Here's another painting by Jackson Pollock. This is called Autumn Rhythm, and it's number 30. He created this in the year 1950. Take a look at the colors. We see dark and gloomy colors. Gloomy means sad colors. Very dark. Think of a gloomy day when the sun is not shining and it's just cloudy. So what colors do we see here that would be considered gloomy? Take a look at the painting. Tell me how this painting makes you feel. Look at the red. Look how thick the red lines are from behind the white and the black lines. But what's the main color that we see in this painting? What's the color that pops out at you the most from 3 colors that he used? If you said the black color paint, you're correct. That's the one that comes out at you the most. That's the one that we see the most. And it often expressed his sadness. So here's a guide for you to how to look at abstract art, and especially Autumn Rhythm. So what do you see when you look at this painting? How has the painting been made? What kind of colors does Pollock use? How would you describe these colors? What shapes can you see? What kind of lines can you see? How do you think Pollock was feeling when he painted this? How does the painting make you feel? Do you like it? Yes or no? And why? So I will upload an assignment on Seesaw with a new painting from Pollock, and I would like you to answer these following questions in the video. Tell me, you can be very honest about how you feel about the painting, but remember, always be respectful. Now let's take a look of a video on how Jackson Pollock used to paint. Take a look how far he's bending down, his movements, the way he moves his arm, his wrist, even the way he shuffles his feet. This is why we call it action painting, because all the body movement that's coming into the painting. He's constantly moving around his canvas, he's flicking in and up, aside. Look how lower bent down he is, crouching down to the painting, having the paint bucket close to his canvas. See how he's flicking his wrist to create constantly movement, and not the same movement, is the shuffling is the same, but the drip of the paint is different every time. And here you can see how he's using sticks and how he's starting a new painting here. Look how far low he gets, how he stretches his legs across the canvas. This is a video from high above, someone recording him, and his signature. Go ahead and log into Seesaw to check your latest art assignments.